with Shakita and all that. Boy, they use all the letters in the alphabet, the Z's, the Q's, and everything. They find something for those V's, don't they? Those Q's. They find something for them. They find something for them. Man, we got the next show coming up, moving people to action. My man Tim Clark coming through with one of the tallest financial advisors in the city. I know he's the tallest, without a doubt. He's part of the Royal Record. He's part of the Guinness Book of World Record. For real, man. Hey, we got greatness around here. We got greatness around. I know for a fact he's probably the tallest. What'd you say, Tim?
I think most definitely the tallest financial
right now.
In Nebraska.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you move.
I'm gonna move over here.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm gonna transition, y'all. My man Tim Clark slide through. We out of here, y'all. Boss with us. Now y'all stay with them because they gonna talk about money. Y'all, right. Yeah, they're gonna talk money, y'all.
Right on. Thanks a lot, my man King. Thank you, brother, for another opportunity to serve. My man Earl Johnson is in the house. Earl, just as we get set up, man, we get your mic adjusted there, and then I'm gonna put my do a live feed on my Facebook page as well. As I open my Facebook to Cat Williams. Man, that dude is sounding off, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I may have to give my therapist Ted Lampkin maybe give Cat a call and see if that brother needs some therapy. He just got a whole lot to get off his chest. You know. Yeah, he got a lot of stuff that he's trying to get off, and so I don't know. To each his own, right? And so I don't want to. I want to worry about what's in my circle and my immediate sight that I gotta figure out. So yeah, I'm gonna as I'm setting up my. We're gonna set up a little streaming here, and. Let's see here. All right, we're about ready to go live here. You guys, please share the feed. We're going to be speaking on finances, and as folks prepare for whatever they do, Earl, in terms of New Year resolutions. Mm-hmm. But I kind of look at it in terms of kind of hitting the reset button, the reboot, and getting an opportunity. I think anytime you can wake up and really celebrate life, that's another opportunity to make it better. You know,
it is.
Yeah, it's another opportunity to make it better. But for the folks that don't know Earl Johnson, give us a high level in terms of just. Okay. A little bit of your why, your motivation, man, for life, and really focusing in your area of concentration, parts financial management, wealth creation, and all that good stuff. Give us a little bit, man. Don't give it all to us, but give us a little bit. Give us a little bit.
I'll give you a little bit. First of all, thank you for having me on this morning. Really, what I do, people know the title of financial advisor, but don't know exactly what we do. I got into this business almost 24 years ago now. And when I got in it, my understanding, what excited me about it was investing. And a lot of people don't understand investing and what it's about. But I got in it because it gave me an opportunity, if I did well at it, to create a good living for myself and ultimately be able to help my family. And really, that's what the essence of good financial planning and having a good financial advisor can do for you, is give you more or less a plan to help you save and grow money and establish a wonderful legacy for yourself and your community. Because at the end of the day, we need resources. Investing, financial planning, what we do either helps you save or helps you grow and protect resources. So, I'm excited about that because there's so many good things going on in the community, and you need resources to, allow you to be successful at them. So That's what my goal is every day of the week, is to try to help people accomplish whatever it is that they want to accomplish, and help take care of the money part.
Yeah. I know, Earl. I know. In full disclosure, you and I have been doing business for a while, and I feel that, although I just had a birthday and I'm getting old, but I kind of still like I'm still young at this whole thing of understanding the money game, wealth creation, and some of the things in terms of that. But this misnomer about, I know we're going to talk about some 5 points, and I know we're going to talk about that, but one of the things that I really had a challenge with early on is like thinking that I never was making enough to start creating wealth. It's like I'm chasing myself month to month. I'm making enough to pay bills. Really do a deep dive into just how do we get people to stop and figure out, when do you start creating this whole thing that you really wake up every day to do, help people create wealth?
Yeah. People, I think, overcomplicate the process.
Okay.
It's really basic blocking and tackling. Once you understand that if I live on less than what I make, that portion that I'm putting away is going to allow me to be financially secure in the future. So, I'll put it this way. I mean, we learned a long time ago that people always say pay yourself first, and it sounds good. We don't really know what that means. It means that if I was going to save 10% of what I made and lived on 90, that's one way. But imagine if you got up to the point where I save 50% of what I earn, I live on the other 50. Just imagine if you invested and saved that other 50 right, what it can do. You can establish an emergency fund for yourself. Then you can also create a savings for your kids to go to college and for yourself to retire. So if I only lived on 50% of what I made, sometimes it would maybe help you push a little harder to grow that 50% that you live on. That's where that discretionary part comes from, and I can go spend my money. But sometimes we use the whole check as discretionary and pay the bills last.
So that whole thing of just the jump off to, like, you gotta start somewhere,
right?
You gotta, and I for me, once I came, because you have been saying this over and over. You hear financial planners and wealth managers say this. You got to start somewhere. And I don't care if it's $20, $10.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I hear a lot of people all the time, and I don't even know how to respond to it, really anymore. But I've heard it several times over, and it's, when I get some money, I'm gonna come see you.
Right.
And my thought is, well, how you ever gonna get any money?
You may never come and see me.
if you don't understand the tenets of what it takes or what's necessary for you to save. Understanding the budget, what am I doing with my money? That's one of the scariest things. And I have that issue myself. And they even got apps now where you got subscriptions for things that you're paying for. You don't even know you're paying for them because you forget.
That's so true, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to go through a cleansing right now on my account because it's tax season. But I'm like, what is this?
Right.
What is that?
Right. It's Audible, it's Peacock, it's Amazon Prime, it's you got a subscription for everything.
And you get in the moment and you just, okay, I want to watch this movie, I want to watch this series, and you just hit boom, give them a credit card.
10-day free trial.
I think I may have like 2 or 3 of them just sitting there. Some of them could be $9 a month, but that adds up.
Oh, it adds up.
It adds up.
And it's funny when you sign up and you get that free trial, and you forget to cancel the free trial, and all of a sudden I got a $39 hit on my account. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, one of the things, finance, I don't know if you would agree with this, but I think your personal finances is really probably one of the most guarded kind of things, and there's out of fear we don't set up a time. I like that watch, man. I like that.
Thank you.
I need that in my life.
Man, that's the fruits of good financial advice.
I know that's right, boy. I like that, man. I like that. But the fear of just being embarrassed
Yeah.
about your finance,
Yeah.
and I think what would you say? I mean, because there again is wallowing,
Hmm.
is laying down in pain
Hmm.
that will keep you from moving forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes with that
Yeah.
old dog saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
they can't." If the dog's laying there with a nail in his behind,
Hmm.
there's no way to relieve that pain without
Hmm.
getting that nail. Got to get that dog to move so you can get the nail out.
Hmm.
And I look at that in terms of finances. Sometimes it's like, I'm talking me personally.
Yeah.
That was my pain. There's so much pain
Hmm.
and this fear and just embarrassment
Hmm.
of like, how did I get here?
Right. Right. The funny thing is that what you're describing is similar in many parts of life. We
Yeah.
just happen to be talking about finance, but when you want to get help, you have to have a certain level of vulnerability. You got to be able to walk in there and say, this is where I am.
You sound like my therapist.
This
But this
it
is
is.
therapy for
Oh
financial.
my
Yeah, that's
God.
right,
You think it
man.
is? I mean, this is people make their financial
Yeah.
decisions based on
Yeah.
their emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
can't understand your emotions well enough or why you're here, I may not be able to help you.
That's right.
But if you're vulnerable enough to say, you know what, I make this, I save this, and I've seen people many times over come in and say, I'm not proud of it, but here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm too old to not have enough money and be prepared. But you know what? My work is about your next 20 years of life. I don't
And
care.
not judging you.
I'm not going to
Yeah,
judge you
yeah,
on where
yeah,
you've
yeah.
been.
You're right,
I'm
right.
going to try to tell you how I can help you because that's what they want. They want to look at their situation a year from now, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And if they have the right discipline, the right coaching, and we all stick to the plan, you're going to be better off, down the road than you are today. But it all starts about when you're vulnerable enough to go in and say, I need help, whether it's emotionally, financially, if my family situation ain't right, whatever it is.
Right. So here's now let's get to the reason why I do this show is moving people to action,
Mhm.
MP to action, is we listen, we learn, and then we cause people to move.
Mhm.
And so when you think of, so the first thing you said is, when you say that's probably the norm of most wealth managers and financial planners and people that help people move, that they're not going to judge. It's not about judging. It's about where you're at, where you want to go, and how do I help you get there.
Right. Well, I tell you, there are people that judge. They're financial advisors that
Okay.
judge.
Okay.
They ain't
Okay.
always the right financial advisor. You got to find the right one.
Okay. See,
You know,
that's what.
that's
Okay.
key.
Okay.
A
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
times, and I'll tell you, and I'll explain this, and a lot of you people that are out there listening have probably felt this before. I took my money somewhere. They helped me set up an investment. And
Okay.
I never heard from them again.
Wow.
So I got a whole bunch of statements
Customer
at home.
care.
And I don't even know whose name is on the statement anymore because they helped me set it up, and I never heard from them after that.
Wow.
That's
They ghost you.
yeah. And part of it is the nature of the business, which is a bad part about it. Some advisors earn their living on commission. Once that commission is made, I can't really make any more money from you. So is it worth it putting my time in, being proactive, calling you, saying, hey, how's things going? Has your situation changed? How
Right.
can I help?
So what do you look for? So as part of an action, if folks, if we're saying here on MP to Action that everyone really should, or at least if you're in a position to seek out professional counseling or professional advisory, advice,
right?
What should they look for? What should they look for in an Earl?
Probably one of the toughest things, because people make their decisions on, can I trust this person is going to be able to help me?
Right.
So when you sit down and you talk to somebody, I think most people have a keen sense of whether or not this person is genuine on how they can help you. And if they lay out a pathway or a plan on how they're going to help you, okay, that's one way. But how are you going to follow up? What are the next steps for us?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that's the hardest part about what I do. You can bring me money, but it might be years down the road before you really see the impact of what the right financial planning is. I mean, you ain't going to see it in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. You won't see it.
So really, and that's a good point, Earl, in terms of
Mhm.
preparing people to have that conversation with an expert like yourself.
Mhm.
It really depending on their expectations of, I got $100,000. I come to you and let's just do a little role
Right.
play. I got
Right.
$100,000.
Yeah.
Either in your mind with that $100,000, what should I be thinking about before I come to you? I called you. I
Mhm.
said, Earl, I got $100,000. I want to come and talk to you about it.
Mhm.
What do I need to be thinking about before I come and talk to you?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the money part to the side and say, what is it you want to accomplish?
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you know, if your expectation is that I want to have $1 million in 5 years and you bring me $100,000, you probably have unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
So I want to talk a little bit more about your expectations and what you want your money to do for you, and then we can
So you're gonna
look
give them
at
a
what you
little
bring to
bit
the
of
table.
a reality juice.
Oh, it's gonna have to be a reality
Well,
because
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
times they don't know the investment part.
Right. That's true.
You
That's why they're
know?
coming to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they don't know the potential of what it could do. And I'm not somebody that's going to overpromise and underdeliver. So really,
So
it's about goal
getting
setting.
that fair. So you, as far as having someone that understand
Mhm.
money,
Mhm.
and I really like what you said in terms of $100,000 is important, but we're going to set that to the side.
Right.
That's basically what I heard you say. We're going to set that to
Set
the
to the
side,
side.
and we're going to really talk about really expectations,
Right.
realistic expectations for, because and that may not be a good client for you,
And
depending on the expectations.
yeah. If somebody walks in and says, I got $10,000, I'm 40 and I want to retire at 50. You
Hold
can't.
up,
Right.
wait a
There you go.
minute.
There you go. There you go. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and that's okay. I'm willing to have them conversations. But at the same time, I'm not going to engage with that client until we get some more realistic understanding of what it is that I can do.
Right. Now, when you think about, so understanding, getting a really good, clear understanding of what you're trying to accomplish in terms of your goals and objectives
Mhm.
for saving
Mhm.
and for investing is fundamental in terms of just creating a plan.
Mhm.
What would you give us, like maybe 2 or 3 nuggets that we can leave, and tell them a little bit about your company?
Okay.
Because because you're here. I'm not
Mhm.
paying you to be here, so
Mhm.
at
Mhm.
least I can let you
You
have
are
a
paying me in
shameless
a way.
plug or something. I know Zola may be listening to this, and, so
Right.
so most definitely tell me a little bit about the company and how to
Mhm.
reach you, just in case there's additional,
Yeah.
and somebody can put it in the feed there so other folks can get it
Yeah.
as he talks about how to
Yeah.
reach you.
It's actually what I hope is pretty easy for people to remember. The name of our company is Lexus Wealth Management. So if you've seen the vehicle and you know anything,
Okay.
we're not related.
Okay,
You
not
know,
related, but
we're not related.
you like that, the quality that it represents.
I like what it represents. I like what people
Right.
think when they hear the name. So Lexus Wealth Management, we can be found at lexuswealth.com, LEXUS Wealth, WEA.
So and your social media,
Yeah, if you just look up Lexus Wealth Management on
Okay.
Facebook, LinkedIn,
I'm gonna ask my
Instagram.
brother James Mason Jr. to put that in the feed there. James, I see that you're checking us out. My man Manson from Atlanta. Man, so we got some folks checking us out this morning, Earl.
Good.
So once again, kind of how to reach you again, my man.
Okay. LexusWealth.com. It's probably the best way. All our information is on there.
Okay.
You said you got a brother on there from Atlanta. We have an advisor in Atlanta as well, too. We have advisors in Chicago and Atlanta.
Okay.
We do business with clients in primarily, well, I should say quite a few states throughout the country. So, we're not just tied to Omaha,
On Nebraska.
our beloved Omaha, Nebraska. So
okay, well, awesome. So, okay, that's how we reach you. Now, in terms of just some fundamental things that to get people thinking, it's January. We're still in January. It's kind of like I'm a believer in being an artist, Earl. It's how you start a note and how you end the note.
Mhm.
Really, the work is all stuff to get you to that to the end.
Mhm.
So as people hit the reset button,
Mhm.
let's think about some things they should be thinking about
Mhm.
as they look at hitting the reset button in terms of goals and
Mhm.
not so much resolution, but getting better,
Right.
doing better than they did in 23 around financial
Right.
wealth creation, getting out of debt, all those
Right.
kind of give them some of those
Right.
nuggets.
Well, I the first thing that I can say is that if you work, if you earn an income, investigate your company's retirement plan.
Okay.
Everyone that has a retirement plan at work, certainly if they match, you should be in it. You should be investing at least what they match.
Now, no. So break that down for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
because
good.
that's important because
Yeah,
that's part of the first 101 of wealth building is like if somebody's putting some money in, you better
you
be
better be getting it. It's
that's
almost
right,
like free
free
money.
money.
And what a lot of folks don't realize that is, I mean, they talk about home ownership being wealth. Well, your retirement plan and your work is just as important, especially if they match. So basically, what I'm saying is that if you have an employer that says that if you put in 5% of your income and you can do it pre-taxed, we're going to match you 100% of that 5%. So we're going to put in 5% as well. So if your 5% is $100, the company's going to put in $100 in as well. So that's $200 going in pre-tax money.
That's right.
You do that over the course of whatever your career is, 10, 20, 50, 20, 30, 40 years that you work, you're going to accumulate a pretty good sum of money.
Yeah.
You know,
And you can use that money and leverage that money. That's retirement
right.
of somebody's matching. And that's when one of the things I learned early on, and I appreciate you breaking that down, is that I maximize my employer's retirement plan.
Right. Yeah.
As just a fundamental step.
Right.
That's one of the steps.
Right.
Okay. That's okay.
And now there's one low caveat to that. People hear that and they think, okay, I need to put as much money as I can to it, and that's great. But I have seen people with some pretty hefty retirement accounts, but believe it or not, they live check to check.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, why do you put so much in retirement? You probably have more than you need in retirement, but you live, on a shoestring, creating credit card debt and so many other debts until you get to retirement. Unfortunately, some people don't make it to retirement.
That's true.
So I want you to live well. You may need to back down some of that employer contribution. Always get the matching amount, but let's secure your financial life by building reserves, staying out of debt, and then allowing you to increase your retirement.
I guess there is a thing called quality of life
that's let me tell you.
know,
let me tell you that's the tagline for our company. Quality of life matters.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what this is all about.
Quality of life matters, and I love your point you just made there, Earl, of just the balance of now versus your future. But if you are starving and hemorrhaging and all these pain points, you may need to adjust that.
You just need to adjust it because again, you got money coming in. I'm putting in a retirement. Wherever you're putting it, you spend, on things that you like. And I'm the kind of financial advisor. If you love watching HBO and if you love going out to eat, I'm not the one to tell you to change that.
That's right.
All I'm going to be able to tell you is here's what the consequences of those actions are. And if you adjust it, you could probably live this way,
Right on.
So that's the thing, is really get an inventory of where your money is going and then make some hard decisions on, is this right? Or should I put $100 a month into a 529 for my grandson?
Yeah. So you're saying that inventory. So you're suggesting that they inventory every penny,
every dollar
that's going out. And I've started that process. I do that every year. So I'm putting in an Excel spreadsheet, or if you don't have an Excel spreadsheet on your computer, handwrite it, write it out. Every dollar that's going out, but also every dollar that's going in.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Because so it's income,
right,
and expenses, and that equals your net.
Right.
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 And
That's right.
really, what should they be doing with that net? I mean, because that's at the end of the day, income expenses net.
Yeah.
If they have a positive net.
Right. Hey,
exactly. I mean, believe me,
if you don't got a positive net, you got to make some changes right away. But and I'm not unrealistic. People talk about budgets. Budgets start in January. They usually end by March.
So they start in January. That's just That's kind of that's the cycle of folks. Trying to do good and do better.
It's the New Year's resolution thing. If you go to Planet Fitness tomorrow, look at the parking lot.
Packed.
Now, when you meet me up there for the parking lot in April,
okay. Hey, now I'm gonna be there on my show live. I'm gonna still be there, man. I'm gonna still be there in April because
health is
I'm
wealth,
I'm making it a lifestyle versus a diet or kind of thing. Because it's like you said, your health is your wealth, and if we're gonna be around here, and you're going to accumulate this wealth and don't have the means or physically can't spend that money.
Right.
Not only just money, but just being with your loved ones, your family, your children.
Exactly. Imagine that. I can't come and see you because I don't feel good today.
Wow.
That's the thing that we have to get out of, get ourselves healthy, get ourselves financially prepared, mentally prepared to go out there and be the best person that we can be, because people depend on us.
That's right.
Whether you know it or not.
Yeah, they depend on us. And so that's good. Well, I think we're having a little difficulty with I don't know if you guys can still hear us on the live feed on 95.7 The Boss, but we're also shooting it live or streaming it live on my social media platform, Tim Clark. And so you can go to my social media platform and pick it up as well. I see Martine. There's a lot of folks on here that just saying good morning in terms of the financials and taking care of money and wealth building. So as we look, Earl, in terms of another nugget, we talked about just, you got to start, you got to do an inventory, right? And is there anything, if someone out there, they're wanting to reach out to you, give them a little bit in terms of just what should they be thinking about, or they just don't have to think about nothing. They just need to make an appointment and come and see you, kind of just in preparation. So, because sometimes, remember, if we're saying most folks scared and more, not so much scared, more embarrassed. So they won't move. Let's get them to take that first step, because you're not, although you're big in stature, but you're not that person that's going like,
I can't.
You did this, you did that wrong, and point the finger at them. Is like you would have no clients,
right? You wouldn't have no clients. Absolutely,
so
right.
How do we ease them into this? First meeting with Earl,
right?
First meeting,
right? Yeah.
What does that look like?
I mean, again, I talked about is if you have a desire to be better off financially, you got to talk to somebody. If it started with a conversation with somebody in your family you thought was doing well, if they gave you some information, that could be helpful, use it. If that next level is, I'm going to pick up the phone or I'm going to get on the web and I'm going to find a financial advisor who cares about me, who understands me, because that's what it is. It's a relationship. I mean, people can invest money and they're not sure of how it's working out.
Right.
Advisors should be able to tell you, these are things that we could do a little bit differently, or here's how we're managing, the situation right now. So in other words, it's a conversation that you can trust. If he's saying things that you don't understand, or it doesn't sound like it's serving you and it's more so serving him, then you need to look elsewhere, or at least get a second opinion, and that's important. You could be with a financial advisor that you've been with for 10 years and their relationship seems like it's going pretty well. A second opinion sometimes could open your eyes up to maybe where the things are going, or at least give you some questions to ask your current financial advisor. I'm not opposed to that. I wish I could take every client on, or every person that I meet on as a client, but I can't. It's all
Yeah.
about capacity sometimes too.
Now, um, I think a key component too, and I think you stated that early on in
Mhm.
terms of just relationship
Yeah.
and so finding someone you can trust.
Hmm.
But just like any kind of relationship, you gotta build that trust
Yeah.
and build the relationship.
Hmm.
And so referrals,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
and someone that's already, I have to say, I don't get no extra advice or secret ways to make more money by
Hmm.
having him come on my show. I'm just,
Hmm.
that's part of me giving back to the community. But it says a lot that I trust in you
Hmm.
to take care of some of my wealth building strategy, and so that matters. So look and maybe find a friend
Hmm.
that's using someone already that will make a referral.
Right.
Just and I've done that in the past, and will continue to do that for Earl.
Hmm.
Um, of folks that's looking at just getting started,
Hmm.
and ones that are been investing and have,
Hmm.
and especially so what's a good, I
Hmm.
don't know if this is the right question, but I know you have stages of folks that you see.
Hmm.
But when you think about, when people are like my wife is 2 years,
Hmm.
hopefully 2 years out from retiring.
Yeah.
When should they start seeing a person like you, when they start thinking about, because we're getting older as a
Sure.
country,
Sure.
most definitely, and
Sure.
more people are thinking about,
Sure.
should I retire? I
Yeah.
want to be able to travel.
Yeah.
One of my relatives, she's retired, and
Hmm.
she's looking at, man, I'm
Hmm.
gonna go stay here for a month, two
Right.
months, and
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people have
when should
plans.
they
People
start?
have plans like that. They don't necessarily know how to execute them.
Okay.
I've seen people. Matter of fact, I'm talking to one now. She's 80, and she still doesn't know when she wants to move out of her house.
Okay.
Should I move to a different location? What should I do?
Okay.
These are all money questions, because there's a transaction in there somewhere where you got to talk to someone about, what do I do financially? How can I support my lifestyle,
Yeah.
even at 80?
Yeah.
But really, it's all about, the earlier you start, the better. I
Okay.
mean, because first of all, you've learned, in other words, if I started when I was 20, by the time I'm 30, I've made money,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, in other words, I've understand the discipline of saving and growing and investing money. So the earlier you start, the better. So when if you're the 60-year-old and you're talking about planning for retirement, sit down with somebody and say, okay, where am I? Because, frankly, you might find a financial advisor that says, okay, when you want to retire, I want to retire at 65, or I want to, well, financially, here's what your situation should look like at 65. Do you
Mm.
think this is where you want to be?
Right.
If
Right.
they're okay, then good. If not, you might have to retire at
Yeah.
67.
Yeah. So really being realistic about,
Mm,
when you would like to do certain things, and
mhm.
really putting a strategy around how much money you're going to need,
Right,
how much you're going to need for each goal that
right.
you want to. And I find myself, I just turned 59, and it's time for me to come in, and because I got some very ambitious goals,
Right,
Earl,
right,
but I got to find the money. I
right.
got to find the money. I'm running from behind,
Hmm.
and I know I'm running from behind, and I got a lot of catching up to do. But you
Hmm.
really, I think if you don't really have dreams,
Hmm.
and and create opportunities to keep hope alive,
Hmm.
and think positive about your outcome,
Hmm.
your thinking is becoming.
Hmm.
You become what you think
Right,
most times.
right.
And that's my friend Johnny Rogers. He tells me that all the time.
Mm.
But that is so true.
Yeah.
And so I think if we want to create financial wealth and
Hmm.
prosperity and things like that,
Hmm.
we have to start thinking.
Right,
And I think as we think about it,
right,
the universe, the forces, or whoever you believe in, starts
right,
to
right.
give you
Well,
what you need.
it kind of starts by,
Yeah.
you said yourself, you say you feel like you're behind.
Yeah.
You're not behind.
Yeah. Oh,
You're not
okay,
behind
okay.
because you're not promised next week.
That is so true.
Like I said, quality of life matters.
Wow.
And I don't mean go spend up every dime to go take
That's
a
right.
trip and
Yeah.
enjoy yourself. But
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to get the trip and the retirement.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to get them
Okay.
both.
Well, I need a strategy. I mean, if my wife goes out and for her to retire in 2 years, and believe me, she ain't gonna be sitting home waiting for me to retire, right? And I don't expect she earned that. She should, hey, go do you.
Right.
You've earned
Right.
that. But I at least want to be able to say if she's doing it in 2,
Yeah.
I gotta have a strategy about 65, 66.
Right.
That I can start to do some things or to ease up. But I think talk a little bit about, because you have some wealth strategists that say use debt as a form of accumulating wealth and getting better positions. But I think part of it is managing your debt overall.
Yeah.
But I think we have a technical situation here. So talk about that a little bit. I'm gonna go and see if I can get us back on the screen here.
Okay.
But just manage how debt play. Right. How does debt play in this picture of wealth management, wealth building?
Right. Well, a lot of times people talk about, there's good debt and there's bad debt. Having a mortgage, most people don't walk in with a check and pay off their house as soon as they acquire one. And I really wouldn't even advise that, unless they have enough wherewithal to do it. But in addition to, the good debt of having a mortgage, there's also, bad debt, like high interest debt, really. I can't say it's credit card debt. I can't say it's loan. It's high interest debt. If that debt costs you more than that money can make you, that's typically bad debt. So we want to eliminate as much bad debt as we possibly can. Credit card debt isn't always bad debt, because if you pay it off, then you don't have to worry about the interest. A lot of my clients, actually one of my clients kind of taught me the strategy years ago, because I didn't really think about it. This guy said, I pay all my bills on one credit card. And he gets, at the time, his was freaking flyer miles was his thing. He wanted. So he pay all of his bills on one credit card, pay it off every month. He keeps accumulating freaking flyer miles. Well, nowadays you see all these cash back cards, and I started doing that, and I almost thought, this is unfair, because if I put all my expenses on a credit card and I pay it off every month, and they give me 1.5% or 2% cash back, I keep building up these cash back rewards. It's like free money.
Wow.
Because think about it. I didn't have to pay any interest. I paid all the debt, but they gave me 2% cash back or 1.5% cash back. It's like free money.
But that thinking is, accumulating debt, but it's how you manage debt.
How you manage it.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to say too, debt at the end of the day wears on people. That's bad. Debt is stressful.
Ooh, wears on your hair.
It's stressful.
Your brain stress. Everything, bro.
So I don't.
Health.
It's hard to associate the words good and debt at the same time. But outside of a mortgage, that's a good debt. The other debt you want to get rid of. There are ways to leverage money that people don't really realize.
Okay.
If you had $100,000 in an account, you don't actually have to come to me and say, hey, I want to cash that out. There are ways to leverage that money in that account and still continue to invest.
So just if you got $100,000 in the bank right now, it ain't what you're saying is like, I'm not going to say, hey, take this money out. Just figure out, you're going to help them figure out how to leverage that $100,000
That's right.
Versus just sitting in a savings account.
They call it securities-backed lines of credit. They call it margin loans. There's other ways, collateralized lending. There's ways, because at the end of the day, say I had $100,000 in an investment account, and I say, hey, I'm getting ready to start a business. I need 50. You can take 50 out. Your 100 is still invested. So if that 100 continues to go up, and few years later, my investment is now 150. Well, you take that extra 50 and you pay off that 50 that you loaned.
So, and really, man, I tell you, you're just making so much sense. And I hope what I'm hoping that we do,
Hmm.
Earl, is that you become my constant, contributor when it
Hmm.
comes to wealth
Yeah.
creation, management,
Hmm.
and just these kind of things. And so hopefully we can offer some nuggets on a consistent basis to
Hmm.
help our viewers, our
Hmm.
listeners,
Hmm.
to better themselves
Hmm.
financially
Hmm.
and to improve upon where they were last year
Yeah.
to this year.
Yeah.
Just get better.
Yeah.
And so, so if in closing, if we would wrap it up,
Hmm.
one, let's restate in terms of just if folks want to
Hmm.
go deeper,
Hmm.
they want to connect with you, how they can do that.
Hmm.
Let's put that out there. And then two, just give them a few things you would like to close and leave them with when it comes
Right.
to your area.
Right. Well, first of all, I'll say again, you have to try to establish the discipline. And, I try to tell people some of the easiest ways to do it. If you work, put money in your retirement plan, but also, sometimes get a savings account, start a second direct deposit. You have one direct deposit that goes into your checking. You live on that. You set up another direct deposit that goes to your savings. You don't even pay attention to it. That's your emergency reserve. Got to build up reserve. If we don't do reserve, we go debt.
How many months is typical for emergency reserve?
For me, that's kind of a rule of thumb that I don't necessarily follow. Normally, they'll say 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
But for me, I think people know what's that comfort line for them. I
Yeah.
mean, if I got $1,000 in my savings, or if it's 10,000, if I
Yeah.
got less than 10,000 in my savings, I ain't comfortable.
Yeah.
And
And that's for you,
Right.
right? Like just so it's an individual. Yeah.
Right.
I see that. Yeah.
You have to get that comfort level, because most time people don't have too many, probably $1,000 emergency happens. Car repairs are something these days. But $2, $3, $4, $5,000 emergency, most people don't have. Anything more than that, you should put somewhere you can invest at higher rates of return.
Yeah.
Savings accounts don't really make any money. You got to put it somewhere else you can make more money.
Right on.
So
anything else you want to share with our viewers?
Well, again, I touched on a lot of reasons why people should have a financial advisor that they can trust and work with, somebody that is willing to listen to them. But you got to be able to listen to them as well, too, because sometimes they're going to tell you things that you don't necessarily want to hear. But it's a part of the process. We learn together, because we have to learn you as an individual, too, and how you invest and save money. So that's important. But if there's anything that if you got $1,000 or $1 million,
Right.
it's a similar discipline. It really is. Get focused on the discipline. Don't be ashamed of where you at. You're gonna start where you are. And I'm okay with that. You should be okay with it. Start where you are. Devise a plan to be better, and allow it. It's almost like eating habits. It's about a lifestyle. Savings is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
That particular discipline is a lifestyle.
And that's really about that lifestyle, savings, financial. It's the same as your health. It's a self-care,
no doubt,
on the health side. And really,
no doubt,
if you can ease the mind by taking care of financial business, man.
If you got money and your bills paid, imagine how you feel that day.
Mama happy.
Hey, what else is there?
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Hey.
Wait, Earl, thank you, man. I appreciate you taking the time. And let's most definitely talk offline on how we can continue to have you contribute to MP to Action as a ongoing contributor in the areas of financial well-being and all that good stuff.
Right. Man. Good.
I'm coming to see you, bro, because I got 65, 66. I gotta have a strategy.
It's on your mind,
and not on my mind, and then put it on paper.
There you go.
Because they say, hey, you got to dream it, think it, and then be about it. And you got to manifest it. And I think, so
it's amazing how it happens. I've been in it for, like I said, almost 24 years, and I've seen people who were 45 who are now, almost 70.
Wow.
And where they came from.
Wow. Yeah.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
that transformation.
But and I want to leave them with this point as you transition now to, what's kind of sticking with me, this whole notion of, we do plan for the future,
Hmm.
but sometimes we forget about the now. We're in so much pain
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
And I think what I picked up in terms of just, we gotta have somebody
Hmm.
help us get
Hmm.
talk through a
Hmm.
balance
Hmm.
of now and next and
Right.
future,
Right.
so we can have this nice, well-rounded lifestyle.
Right.
Because why do you have to suffer now for next? I mean, I think there's sacrifices
Yeah.
that one can
Yeah.
make,
Yeah.
but
Compromise.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
I hope to see you, Earl. We have this coming Monday. We're going to be celebrating the life and legacy and commemorating the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on Monday, January 15th. Um, Pilgrim Baptist Church is going to be serving as host with their senior pastor, Dr. Cedric Perkins, and leading the efforts in partnership with Moving People to Action for our first march here in Omaha, Nebraska. That's going to take place on the corner of 24th and Lake Street, the historic corner of 24th and Lake Street. We're going to start gathering at 1:30 p.m. We're set to start the march. It'll be a combination of march and bus rides, because the bus, when you're talking about the civil rights movement, with Black folks not being able to ride the bus, we're gonna use buses to get us from A to Z to Pilgrim Baptist Church for the ones that do not want to walk. And so we're gonna start gathering at 1:30. Bring the family out. The students are out of school that day. Let this be a learning project for them, where they come and be a part of a community event. Bring the whole family. We have some of our organizers and some of our partners. We're going to have coffee, chocolate, hopefully some hot chocolate there for the folks that don't have hats and gloves. We're hoping to gather some hats and gloves for folks that want to walk it. Excuse me. And then we're going to walk to Pilgrim Baptist Church, 2501 Hamilton, where we're going to, as soon as we arrive from the march, we'll start the program. So our hope is to start that program around 2:30, 2:45. And so if you can't meet us at 24th and Lake Street, join us at Pilgrim Baptist Church, where we'll start that program as soon as the majority of the folks arrive at Pilgrim Baptist Church from the walk. Feel free to make banners. This is again an opportunity for family members to do something with your children or youth, and to make a banner that really will articulate for you of what you're doing to keep the dream alive. Or when you think about what is the work now around some of those issues, some of the concerns that we had to fight for and still fighting for injustice and the inequalities and jobs and health care, access to affordable health care, education, all those kind of economic empowerment, housing, some of those same things. Now, I feel personally, and this show really, it's really my personal views. It don't represent the station, 95.7 The Boss. It don't represent my employer. It's about my opinions, and so I feel that we have come, we've made progress, and in order to keep the theme of this march is keep the dream alive. I think we have to keep it alive in order to keep people stimulated in terms of that there is a dream that is worthy of us fulfilling, a dream that's worthy of us fulfilling. That's the work portion. That's the work part of it. And we have work to do. D. Kevin Williams, we got lots of work to do, Martine and folks out there. And a lot of folks are doing the work. I mean, our guest, part of his, keeping the dream alive is empowering people in terms of financially wealth creation and all those kind of helping people get smart about managing their money. That's a big part of the dream. And so please join us. And we're going to have youth serving organizations, bringing some young people out. If you got a group of young people, you need something for them to do on that day. Be a part of the march, be a part of the program. That's again Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Most students will be sitting at home or involved with some kind of community activity. We're anticipating frigid weather. So that's why we're looking at partnering with the city and Metro Area Transit to provide bus services for that route during that time from 1:30 all the way up until 4 o'clock, 4:30 from 24th and Lake Street to Pilgrim Baptist Church. And that's where we're excited about. We're going to be recognizing young people, young adults, for us that's doing the work, providing service to their community. We're also, our honorary chair is Johnny the Jet Rogers. I want to thank Johnny. Jewel Rogers will be blessing us with some spoken word. Really excited about having her come in her own way in terms of what that dream means, and really more not only what it means, but what's in front of us in terms of the work. The message to our young people, we're going to have several, but one of them is going to be given by CEO of Boys and Girls Club of the Midlands, Richard Webb, will also be with us. We have entertainment that's going to be going on. And so it's going to be good, elected officials, both local and state officials will be in the house, community leaders, thought leaders, all that good stuff. Let's come together. We're marching really kind of at the end of the march. You march for change and trying to put attention or shine the light on something. So one, we want to shine a light on the work and commemorate the work of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we want to celebrate that. We also want to, our end game is to acknowledge folks that's doing the work, that's living the dream every day. So we're going to acknowledge that. And then when you think about what we have to shine the light on in terms of the march, and the emphasis is healthcare, education, jobs, and still injustice that's happening, that's taking place all over this country and take place in this state, inequities. And so those are things that we still have to shine the light on, and we will take the time to do that. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Moving People to Action. We listen, learn, and cause people to move. That's our game plan. That's our end game. And so until next time, take care of one another, as my man Michael Scott would say. But I'm going to add, be good to yourself. For if you do anything different, or if you haven't done this in 23, I'm going to challenge you to take the time to be good to yourself. It makes it so much easier to be good to others when you take the time to breathe and breathe deep. Take deeper breaths, deep belly breathing. That's so important to your thoughts, to your body, and just your mind, and feeding all the necessary components that needs to be fed by breathing deeper. So breathe deeper in 2024 by taking deep breaths through your nose exhaling through your mouth, and do that often. Okay, do it often. And then the last thing I'm gonna leave you with is me personally. I'm always going to start with the man in the mirror. Is that I'm taking the time to listen more, listen, spend more time listening. And you would say, for what? The force, the universe will give you direction if we believe that our steps have already been ordered. So what are we listening for? Is the mapping, and how the map, the tools and the resources to manifest our gift, our purpose in life. And sometimes people, they live life and not knowing their gift, their purpose. And I think a lot of it is because they don't take the time to listen, and listen with a purpose, and very intently, very intentionally, for that direction and that guidance, in terms of just manifesting your God-given reason for being on planet Earth. And if it's not God for you, whatever it is for you in terms of the force, the universe, but it will tell you what's next for you. I'm out. Thank you. Peace.
All right, my brother.
I appreciate you, my man.
Good work.
Good work. Let's get a picture.
So we're going to take some pictures here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. And again, love to see you guys. Share this link, and please show up on Monday. And that's the sacrifice, right? Some folks, oh, it's going to be cold. But there's a lot of folks say, you know what? That's the sacrifice I'm going to make in remembrance of Dr. King. I'm going to walk that mile on Monday, the Monday at 24th and Lake Street, 1:30. Come on, Mr. Mason. Come on. I know Manson Joan, if you were in the city, I know you would be there walking with me, bro. Okay? I know it. Gabriel, I'm looking forward to seeing you. D. Kevin Williams. Come on, man. Lead us in some of those freedom songs, and some of those songs that used to be sung in the 60s, man. Come on out and be a part of that. Benny, I would love to see you as well. This is a march for the city of Omaha and the greater area. Anybody, everyone is welcome to come and join us on the corner of 24th and Lake Street on Monday, January 15th at 1:30 for a takeoff, and start the march at 2 p.m. heading south on 24th Street to Pilgrim Baptist Church for a short program. So look forward to seeing you this coming Monday, January 15th. This coming Monday, January 15th, on the corner of 24th and Lake Street, gathering at 1:30. We're going to have coffee. I believe the Simple Foundation is providing coffee and chocolate for folks that arrive. And and then hopefully we'll be able to get some gloves and hats for people that just want to do the walk and don't have those items. Okay. God bless you.